country was at the heart of the world's busiest trade routes for over 1,000 years, and you could get anything here. Chinese, Indians, Arabs and Europeans all added their own spice to this incredible culinary melting pot. Blended with its own exotic food culture, these influences have evolved into one of the world's most varied cuisines. Welcome to the food lovers' paradise of Malaysia. Malaysia is a federation of states bordering Thailand on the Malaysian peninsula and Indonesia on the island of Borneo. From a hunting party in the rainforest, I head for fish curry in Terengganu. I'll taste Nyonya and Portuguese flavours in Old Malacca, high tea in the Cameron Highlands, and celebrate Chinese and Indian festivals in Penang. After Malay fine dining in Kuala Lumpur, I share Ramadan sweets and beef rendang on the island of Langkawi. You can eat here any hour of the day or night, and there is a huge variety to choose from. A typical breakfast might be an Indian roti canai, Chinese dim sum, or really spicy Malaysian mee rebus, or traditional nasi lemak, a very Portuguese custard tart, all washed down with a classic cup of sweet tea. I'm starting my culinary journey in the state of Kelantan, where you can still find the original inhabitants of Malaysia, living much as they have been for 10,000 years. Today, Malaysia's indigenous jungle tribes make up less than 0.5% of the population and are being encouraged into settlements, but many still choose to live in bamboo huts. Now, I've come to Ulu Kelantan, which is situated just north of the very centre of Malaysia, and I'm here to meet the Orang Asli people. Now, they're determined to hold on to their really traditional way of life, and I've come to this incredible spot to learn a little bit more about it. Hunting for meat using poison darts seems to be men's work. Here are the darts. Can you show me? So fast, I didn't even see it. Wow. And if that fails, try trapping. Okay, so the father and grandfather are talking me through these fantastic homemade traps. So the animal must run through. Wait, but a big animal?
Yes, big.
What?
Dead.
What kind of animal?
Ini mati monyet tadi habis lah ini dia punya jar.
Monkey. It's a monkey trap, I think. Yeah? I tell you wouldn't want to be an animal around here. There's traps everywhere. So this is a bit different, this one. They run inside.
Maka habis.
An animal, little animal, snake. No, not snake.
Mati sini.
I hope you catch it for supper. Failing that, try gathering. Now, as you can see, all the fruit is at the top of the tree, and he's going to climb up. Okay, ready? 1. Ooh! Look at my pockets! That's plenty, thanks. Meanwhile, the women do the spade work. Oh, flowers for my hair. Now, I want to have a look around your lovely garden. This, I'm pretty sure, is the plant of a tapioca, and it's the root they have to dig up. Hard work. I think we'll pass on that. We know we're digging for tapioca. She's faster. That's a big one. It's like big on top of the world, isn't it? So today looks like a vegetarian lunch. Is it okay to sit here? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No.
Then we're having lunch now. This is the tapioca root here. That comes from years of experience, I think. She's so quick. Me, very slow. Now, what are we doing next? There's like a peeler. Now that I could do. Bamboo. I got that, a bamboo peeler. That's amazing, it's very sharp, huh? Okay? Yeah. I'm not sure that it's that okay. No. And then it goes in the fire. Like that? Oh, I see. So you lean it up against the bamboo. It's just amazing to have like the oven in the middle of. I mean, they sleep here and they have a fire here. Thank you. Oh, does it look good? What are you laughing at? It's chuckling away, huh? Wow, I wonder what that is. But it's gone into the bamboo cooker. Look at the steam coming out. I bet you they cook loads of different things in there. Fish, rice, meat, anything. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. I'm amazed that it can be cooked so quickly. I mean, it's tapioca, so it's a really similar flavour to like a potato. In fact, it's like a cross between a sweet potato and a potato. Really fluffy. Look at that. This one and this one together, yeah? Okay. Try that. Thank you. Kind of tastes like a fern crossed with a spinach. Got a bit of grit in it, which is interesting. And I'm sure very good to aid the digestion. Could do with a little butter. God, I feel sort of really privileged. I mean, I've just come in, these people have never met me before. They're sharing their food with me, which is incredibly simple and probably literally gathered from around us. And this is like something that, for me, is, you know, really special. Thank you. Bye, 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 bye. Bye. Many young Orang Asli people have also said goodbye to the forest life and have headed to cities like Kuala Terengganu. Half of the Malaysian population is Muslim, and many live on the East Coast, which is famous for authentic Malay cuisine. Terengganu claims to be the first part of Malaysia to receive Islam, and its Arab name is Darul Iman, which means abode of faith. On Fridays after prayers, people gather in front of the famous floating mosque to meet their friends and share a picnic. Malaysia's famous for its street food, and in every town and city you're never far away from something delicious to eat. So after a nice relaxing picnic at the mosque, people come here to this night market for a bit of shopping and lots of eating, and I reckon this is definitely the deep fried store. Amongst the burgers and candies and sugary drinks, you'll find a few local treats, such as fresh fried roti stuffed with spicy chicken, onions and egg. Firstly, it's really hot. But inside, it's like a kind of spiced, sweet omelette in a roti. Quite unusual. And I think I've just given myself a third-degree burn. Now, this is the central market here in Terengganu, which is a massive array of classic Malay ingredients. Malaysian towns have supermarkets, but Malaysians like their produce local and fresh. Markets like this are everywhere. I've never seen so many unfamiliar and exotic ingredients, and the variety and freshness of the seafood here is fantastic. And that's hardly surprising. The state of Terengganu has 120 miles of stunning coastline. Every morning, hundreds of boats return from a night's fishing on the South China Sea, and the locals gather on the beach to bring in the catch. The larger fish are usually snapped up by the market traders, while the smaller, cheaper fish are sorted for local consumption and for processing into snacks. Now, this is the fishing village of Penuru, and this is a classic day where literally the fish comes in and goes straight out, and these guys are sorting the fish, and I'm going to give them a hand. Hello? So what are we doing? I think we're sorting small fish from big fish. Big in here and little in here. Yes? Yes? Okay. Right, let's go. In here? Big, big, big. Small fish coming in. Can I see? Yeah, strong like bull me. Ready? On three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now this man certainly knows how to look after his family. Those little fish got sent off to the market. This one's coming home. Great. Abakaba! Look what I've bought. He caught it though. Cooking is a family affair, and while Kat Dar cleans and cuts up the mackerel, her children start preparing vegetables. Everything is fresh, including the coconut milk, one of the staple ingredients of all Malay cooking, and the spices, which are pounded with a pestle and mortar. We're making a really traditional Malay yellow curry. To the simmering coconut milk, she adds pounded turmeric root, ginger and shallots. Then she adds 3 teaspoons of salt. Now this is an interesting ingredient. It's called asam kepeng. And if you eat it on its own, it's so sour that it literally sort of blows your head off. But apparently it's really delicious in the curry. Next, it's 4 teaspoons of sugar and a spoonful of spicy tapioca seasoning called aginonoto. And now for the mackerel, which is simmered for a further 15 minutes. And finally, she adds plenty of sliced red chilli. Quite a few red chilies. You're hot. That's really beginning to bubble now, and it's reduced slightly and looks like a wonderful sort of creamy consistency. Is it ready? Family are going to have a delicious lunch. So there we are, Misa Lama Galai Kuming, Kat Dar's yellow mackerel curry. While we are making the fish curry, one of the daughters is preparing stir-fried long beans and chilli called goreng kacang, and Dad is out in the yard like a typical man tending that barbecue. Hands must be washed before eating. In true Muslim style, people only eat with their right hand. I love the way that nobody actually helps themselves. Everybody is offered and passed the food, and it's a completely shared experience. And you can tell they're hungry because everybody's very quiet. Is it good? From the truly Malay East Coast, it's a 1-hour flight to the multicultural West Coast port of Malacca. In the 15th century, Malacca was so important to the spice trade that whoever held it was said to have his hand on the throat of Venice. So over 600 years, the Chinese, Portuguese and Dutch all took control and left their mark on the culture. This is still evident in the old town, on the facades and in the elaborate decoration of the buildings. The Malaccan blend of Chinese and Malay, known as Baba Nyonya, is defined by the fine attention to detail in its architecture, dress, dance, and obviously food. I'm here with Florence Tan, who is a world expert on Nyonya cooking. She's offered to let me into some of her secrets.
Okay, now first we are going to get the chilies. Now these chilies, dried chilies, they have already been soaked in boiling water.
So into the blender go the soaked chilies, roughly chopped galangal, lemongrass, chopped candle nuts, turmeric root, shrimp paste, and plenty of shallots. Just heat the oil?
Yes, I heat it up.
Okay, that looks good.
Yes, very good. It's already very fine.
This is going to spit a bit, isn't it?
Okay,
Better
so
stand back.
Gently.
That smells amazing!
Fantastic, isn't it? These are the key ingredients for our Nyonya cuisine, all the spices here. This is the most important part in the cooking process. If you don't cook it well, your dish is a failure.
Once the paste turns a darker colour, add the prawns and cook quickly over a high heat for a minute before adding plenty of homemade anchovy stock, coconut milk, a whole bunch of laxa leaves or polygonum, a crumbled anchovy cube, salt and pepper to taste, and 3½ tablespoons of sugar. They do love their sugar here. I love the oil has come to the surface. The colour is just fantastic. Then we add some halved fish balls and chopped toffee puffs. You always have quite a few things.
Yes, we have quite a few. So when you eat it, it's like a treasure hunt. Oh, fish ball.
I found a fish ball, I found some tofu, I found a prawn.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, bring it to boil and I will add in our
cream, coconut cream. Oh. This is just getting better by the second, Florence.
Now, isn't that great?
It's gone really kind of like, it's the colours, you know, like lightened, but it looks richer now.
Okay, I'll switch it off.
For the final assembly, place some blanched bean sprouts, thin rice noodles, and some cooked cockles in individual bowls.
Give it a good stir.
Give it a good stir with my
And
nail.
get the prawns that's at the bottom.
Yeah, I definitely want the prawns.
Yes,
But I want some of this amazing kind of broth.
that's right.
It's creamier than, if you just use the milk, it wouldn't be so creamy. Then to garnish, some shredded red chilies, more laxa leaves, and fine strips of cucumber. Are you excited as me? Florence. That is one of the most delicious things I have ever tasted, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you.
This is the entrance to the Malacca River, and it's hard to imagine that this tiny river mouth was the gateway to possibly one of the most important trading centres in history. It was actually here in these warehouses over 200 years ago that the Dutch East India Company would have been loading tons of spices onto ships to go back to Europe, and the air would have been heady with the smell of cinnamon, cloves and nutmeg. Although the area looks run down today, my friend Bernard is very optimistic about the future.
All these houses will be all restoration in the future. Budget hotel, art gallery, cafeteria, restaurant, all this will be in the future by 2009.
If I didn't know I was in Malacca, I would never know this is Malaysia.
The fishing boats in Malacca are painted purple
Oh, right.
to clarify they are from Malacca state.
And once this muddy river has been restored, historic Malacca is hoping to achieve World Heritage status. I thought I'd take the subtle route tonight. This understated vehicle, beautiful flowers and lights. I'm on my way to meet Bernard again, but this time to see how the Portuguese influence lives on in Malacca. There's a vibrant Portuguese community here which goes back over 400 years. Here in Portuguese Square, Julia and Albert at the restaurant Lisbon are cooking up a typical Portuguese Malay feast. Steamed and dry-fried sambal crab, green kangkong tossed in blanchan, a spicy prawn paste, and Portuguese sauce prawns, spicy fish baked in banana leaves, and the classic curry de bal, or devil's curry. All these dishes blend elements of Portugal and its former colonies in Africa, Goa and here in Malacca. Rice, of course. Oh my goodness, look at that crab. This is so good. The Portuguese and Dutch might have ruled Malacca, but the British ventured much further inland. I'm heading up to the cool summer retreat of British colonists, the Cameron Highlands, source of the Brits' greatest passion. At 5,000 feet, the cool, wet climate is perfect for growing tea. 50 years after the British left, curious echoes remain. Everything here is built in mock Tudor style, even the tower blocks. The Bow tea plantations are the oldest and largest in Southeast Asia. The plantations in this area produce 70% of all Malaysia's tea. about 5.5 million cups a day. So just the green shoots I'm picking. God, this is going to take a while. And look how much we've got to pick. And my basket's huge! Oh, gosh, she's so fast. Well, I guess she's been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing it for a morning. Enough? Okay, squeeze together. Oh, I think I missed. It is a pretty beautiful place, though, I have to say. Beautiful views, tranquil. That's cheating! That's really cheating! It was lovely and peaceful here before. Modern technology. Oh, they're good for that. Oh, that's all the tea I picked. Bow tea is still prepared traditionally. The leaves are left to wither naturally before crushing and rolling under machines dating from the 1930s. Fermenting and drying follows, and the results are sorted into dust for tea bags and the finest leaves for loose tea. It's a simple product that has captivated the Western world. And to sample the perfect afternoon tea, the perfect English guest house. Hello, Mrs. Chong. I thought I could smell something familiar. Those scones look fantastic. So I'm getting tea and scones.
Yes.
I'm a very lucky girl. They look fantastic. I tell you, Mrs. Chong, with all this wonderful tea and these beautiful plates and the house, I feel like I could be right at home.
Is that it?
It's like a little bit of England. What is so unique for me is this is like quintessentially English. But the minute you look that way,
yes,
we're definitely in Malaysia. This tea is now sent to England and to all over the world,
yes,
isn't it? It's famous tea, this.
Yes, famous bow tea.
You've been making scones for 25 years?
Yeah.
Well, I've been dying to try. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of butter.
Yeah. Go ahead, go ahead.
And a little bit of your jam, which looks the colour. And these are all local strawberries.
Yes. I have my own strawberry farms at the backyard.
This is such a treat for me, Mrs. Chong.
Go.
Mrs. Chong, your scones are light as a feather. Almost as good as my grandmother's, but if she heard me say that, I'd be in lots of trouble. They're delicious. From the cool hills, I'm heading back down into the heat of the coastal plain and the place where the British arrived, Penang. You can still see the British influence in these grand buildings in Georgetown, Penang's capital. In 1786, a Royal East India Company captain, Francis Light, decided to build a port here to rival Dutch Malacca. He made a deal with the local sultan and invited people from all across the British Empire to settle here. The two main groups who took up the offer built their own settlements here. Chinatown over there and Little India over here. Little India is a busy and bustling community, and I'm going to meet journalist Himanshu Bhatt to find out more and to join in with the Hindu festival of Dussehra.
Thank you. Himanshu?
Marilis, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to meet
Wow,
you.
this smells like India and it sounds like Bombay. It's lots of...
It smells like India?
Yeah.
You must try this.
What is it, special tea?
Ginger tea, teh halia.
I'd love to.
Teh halia satu.
Wow, so tell me about the tea.
Well, this tea is heated with grated ginger.
Fresh grated ginger?
Oh, yes.
That's unusual.
And so it's got a very tangy kind of taste.
And why is he doing that?
Well, he's trying to cool it for you, and at the same time, he's trying to mix it so you get just the correct kind of taste. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, that was great. What a performance.
Okay,
oh.
yeah, give it to her.
Who's going to take it? Well, okay. It's like, kind of like a beer on top, isn't it?
Yeah, but how does it taste?
Delicious. And it's actually not as sweet as I thought it was going to be.
Well, sometimes they do use condensed milk, which is a natural sweetener, but it's a mixture between being hot, being spicy, and being tangy and sweet.
great.
Over here first.
Okay. Well, thanks for the tea.
Right, this is one of our specialities of Penang. It's called roti jala. Literally, it means lattice or net pancakes.
Wow, that's
But roti also
completely
refers to pancake. There you see, it becomes lattice shaped or net shaped. And it's eaten with gravy or dal. Sometimes you eat it with sugar as well.
And this is a Penang speciality, is it?
Oh yes, of course. In Penang, a tea break is a must. All right, and you take this with some sugar or with some dal, lentil salt.
I'm going to get in there with my hand.
There you go. Make sure it's not too hot, and you dip it inside. Yeah?
It's delicious. It's really quite light and crispy, isn't it?
Yes.
Little India was built on the spice trade, and the local spice shops go back generations.
This is Mira Sahib. My family has been shopping here for the last 30, 40 years.
Obviously, some of these spices I recognise. I mean, like things like star anise and pepper and cloves. Would they all have been shipped in from India
Originally from other places like the Moluccan Islands, Sri Lanka, Kerala in India.
It's a fantastic shop. I tell you, it smells just... I literally close my eyes and I could be in India, you know? It's fantastic.
Hindus were the first Indians to arrive in Penang. Today they are a minority group compared to the Muslims, but all of Little India is joining in the Hindu festival of Dussehra.
Today is the last day of Navratri, and that's called Dussehra. It dedicates the killing of the demon Ravana by the god Rama. So what we do is we have prayers and then we have food. This is mango curry.
Wow, mango curry.
And this is lady's fingers, okra.
But they're very generous, aren't they?
Oh yes, you can have as many servings as you want.
Well, you've tried, we're not used to using the right hand.
You can only be born a Hindu, but everyone is welcome to join the celebrations. And once prayers and eating are completed, the whole community processes around the narrow streets behind a huge iron chariot, from which a statue of the Mother Goddess blesses the shops and houses of Little India. Next day, I take my trishaw to Chinatown, which, like Malacca, is seeking World Heritage status for its stunning architecture. Penang's 600,000 Chinese form the largest community on the island, and Georgetown's Chinatown is the largest outside mainland China. It's held together by ancient clan societies called Kongsi. Now, these are known as the clan jetties. They've been built by local shipyard workers and fishermen, and you have to be from that clan to live there. That one over there is the Lin clan jetty, this one is the Chu clan jetty, and the one over there is the Tan clan jetty. Oh, and there's a fourth one at the end for all the other people. Penang is known as the Island of Festivals, and I'm off to another one. The Festival of the 9 Emperor Gods, which starts on the 9th day of the 9th lunar month. Once again, it's a vegetarian feast. Now I've got a bit of a sneak preview as to what everybody's going to be feasting on at the end of this brilliant festival. That's definitely tofu. There's some fried potatoes here. There's some small pastries. There's these wonderful cakes, and also these little bowls of rice. And I'm presuming the noodles and there's dried mushrooms are all going to get filled up with water later. And then anybody is allowed to come and eat here. How fab is that? As evening draws in, local families queue up for the fantastic array of free food.
It's crazy. I'm trying to find the kitchen, which I think is in here. Hi, Julia.
Hi.
I'm Marily's, the chef from England.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Come on here, come on. You're going to fall in the stew if you're not careful. No. I just saw all fantastic food outside. It looks amazing. And this is where it's all made, in here.
Yeah, it's all the volunteers over here. They're so passionate about this festival, and they're all here to help.
And it's so busy. How many people are you cooking for every day? Because the queue's huge.
3,000 people.
3,000 people every day.
Yeah, and we are cooking this about 8 pots a day.
8 pots of that a day. And how much rice?
250 kilos per day.
Per day? Let's go and eat. I'm starving.
Okay, come.
This is braised tofu, is it?
Yeah.
Hope you're hungry.
Ooh, I am.
For free food, this is delicious, though I'm not sure about the imitation crispy duck. Once the eating is over, the main event begins. Young men, chosen as mediums, go into a trance to communicate with the spirits of the 9 emperors who saved the Hokkien people from evil centuries before. The crowd swells to 10,000 as dragon dances begin and huge floats are prepared to carry the emperor's spirits back to the sea. After a 5-mile procession, a model ship laden with gifts is lowered onto the beach and set alight to send the spirits back to the heavens for another year. It's another day and I'm off to explore Penang's greatest contribution to world cuisine, street food.
The place where Penang's cultural ingredients really come together is on the street. The famous street hawkers serve delicious concoctions everywhere.
Street hawkers appeared here in the 19th century to feed the thousands of male migrant workers who couldn't cook and had nowhere to eat. This is the local laksa, which is quite different from Florence's coconutty version.
Oh, wow, that broth's got a kick and a half. Oh, It's really different because it's not creamy, it's not sweet, but it's incredibly spicy. Like, this is kind of comfort food. Hi, could I have one popia, please?
Popia is a kind of local soft egg roll.
It's kind of like a pickled cabbage inside, a sweet and sour bean paste, and loads of peanuts and some shrimp. Very scrummy.
Desserts on the streets here are quite something. This extraordinary creation is ice kacang.
I did it so fast, I'm not exactly sure what's in it. I can definitely see tinned sweet corn. I can definitely see mango, ice cream. These are like red beans we'd normally put in chili con carne. I think I'm just gonna keep quiet and quietly go off in the corner, away from the man, so I don't upset him.
And you can't eat on the street without trying satay. Char-grilled skewers of chicken, shrimp, beef or lamb, marinated in turmeric and dipped in spicy peanut sauce.
So good. You know why?
I think it's because it's made here. There's nothing like eating almost a national dish in a country of origin. It's fantastic.
I'm here with Mr. Tan, and we're making char kway chow, which is a classic hawker dish. Got a very hot wok here, and into the hot wok we've put a few prawns, some garlic, bean sprouts, some flat rice noodles, some, obviously, some soy sauce, and that's one hell of a movement he's got there. Now this is to keep the wok really, really hot, and so there's air's coming up underneath. Oh, Mr. Tan. You go there, hey, what a move. And this is really fast, energetic food. Okay, lots of chili. More heat. Now, he's just trying to get the wok really nice and hot. So now, hey, 2 eggs. I do 1. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Now, this is a bit of sausage. Oh, and a few clams. And some spring onions for colour. Wait. So he's a bit of a mover as well, Mr. Tan. Can I have a go? Okay, okay. Wait! Okay. Oh, the wrong way! Like a... Oh, hard, there we go! Hey!
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Okay, okay.
Okay, this is a classic way of eating it if you were going to eat it on the street. Bit of newspaper, some banana leaf, and then it gets wrapped up, and I get to try. Mr. Tan, I thought you were fantastic. Mr. Tan. I think we need a round of applause for Mr. Tan. Thank you. It's the wiggle that makes all the difference.
From street food to fine dining. I'm driving a couple of hours south to Malaysia's glittering capital, Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is a pretty unattractive name for a city. It literally translates as Muddy River Junction, which is basically all it was 150 years ago, except for a couple of tin mines and a shanty town. But now it's one of the fastest growing cities in Southeast Asia. KL, as it's known, is changing at breakneck speed, and some are worried that traditional Malay culture might suffer in the rush towards global status. But traditional Malay cuisine is fighting back at high-class restaurants like Bijan, with its brilliant young chef, Zul. Chef Zul?
Yes?
Hi, I'm Marilise.
Hello, how are you?
Now, I've heard you are cooking some of the best Malay food in Malaysia.
Really, thanks, yeah.
So why did you decide to do traditional Malay?
Because I is Malay.
Well, you go ahead and start cooking.
Okay, no problem.
With Zul, the urban jungle meets the rainforest, combining a formal training in France, his mother's recipes, and the ingredients I'd found at the start of my journey. These are tapioca shoots braised in fresh coconut milk, herb stock and shallots, served simply with the dried fish I'd first seen in Terengganu. And this is his classic ayam sambal patai. Marinated chicken is deep fried and set aside. He then blends a rich, spicy sambal and stirs in the chicken along with some steamed betel nuts.
Right. Okay.
Wow, how fantastic. I want to try, thank you. Okay, I'm going to try.
This one sama belacan.
Oh,
This one must mix all together.
oh, okay, mix it inside, okay.
Yeah, a little bit. This one quite spicy.
I like spicy.
Yeah,
I like spicy. Okay. There's tapioca leaves.
Yeah. Enough spicy? No, enough. Some spicy.
You know what I love about that?
Yeah.
Is it's so light and refreshing.
Yeah.
There's not so much sugar in there that I can't taste the real flavours, you know?
Yeah.
And the chicken, which looks almost too good to eat. And one of those betel nuts is going to make my kidneys very healthy.
Good?
Genius. The final leg of my culinary journey brings me full circle, leaving the bustle of KL for the tranquility of Langkawi Island. Langkawi means Isle of Legend, and it's the largest and only fully inhabited landmass in this group of 104 islands. The tourists are beginning to arrive, but it's still a wonderful place to find the best in traditional Malay food culture. Whilst I've been eating my way around Malaysia, half the country's been fasting because this is the month of Ramadan. Now that means nothing can be consumed, not even a sip of water, between sunrise and sunset. The idea being to focus people's minds on the needs of the poor, forget about material things, and generally cleanse the spirit. But come sunset, the feasting begins, and Narelle is taking me shopping for her staff's evening treats. For a country that's fasting, this place looks pretty fantastic.
I know. Basically what it is, for 1 month, all the old ladies come out with incredible food. It's amazing what you can get. They set up these stalls starting about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everyone hasn't had anything to drink or anything to eat all day. What they'll come down here, they'll come down and they'll either side and select their food for the night.
To get the system going after a day without food, head for the sweet drinks. So these are all drinks?
These are all drinks, and this is how they break their fast.
What on earth is that?
Fantastic. This is basil seeds, this is barley again, jelly.
It's like a mixture of all the other ones
that
we see. Durian is notorious the world over for being absolutely pongy.
Give it a try.
It does really pong.
It's really like a very rich avocado, a buttery avocado.
Just don't like it. Sweet dates are another favourite fast breaker. When I'm working really hard, I live on these, and I actually like them chocolate. Oi! Get rid of the taste of the durian. Come sunset at Narel's Bonton Resort, staff and guests gather to break fast on our selection of what the Malaysians call kueh. I guess it's their answer to tapas or dim sum. Time stands still here. The paddy fields, water buffalo and coconut groves haven't changed in centuries, and the people maintain strong bonds with the land and sea. I'm going to meet Shukri, the celebrated cookery teacher and owner of the Lighthouse restaurant, to have a lesson in Malay food culture and horticulture. Because to me all this looks like kind of leaves and things, but what kind of things have we got here?
This is pandan. We need this to put in our rice.
What kind of flavour does it lend to the food?
And it's close to vanilla.
Almost like a savoury vanilla?
Savoury, yeah. Okay, here we have the ginger. You can see already there. Yeah, fresh ginger. Yeah, yes, you just pull one. Yeah.
Wow, now that is one hell of a lemongrass plant. It's amazing. I've never seen one this huge. I've actually seen pots growing. Somebody managed to grow one at home, but not like this. This is beautiful.
This for you. Very nice. Good sound there. And you just stick that in a pot.
It's just so fresh. I mean, it's just almost like snappable.
Yes.
Oh, it smells fantastic. So we've collected all sorts of wonderful herbs from your garden, and now we're going to make something very special.
Right.
What are we going to make?
It's a beef rendang.
Delicious.
Yeah, the chili. Double the amount of onions.
Now, shall I be the stirrer as it goes in?
Yeah, you be the stirrer, yeah.
Okay.
This is lemongrass. So
and again, that's been pounded?
Pounded, yeah. Then the galangal, ginger, then garlic. The idea of using the wok is that you have enough space to stir around. You can use a pot, but it's good to have a wok.
And that's oil, is it? Just plain oil?
Just plain oil, except olive oil. You can use any oil. When it's hot, you need all the other spices.
Oh, star anise?
Star anise, yeah.
Cinnamon, cloves?
Cinnamon, cloves, flour.
Cardamom.
That's it, cardamom.
They're like the aromatics, aren't they?
That's right, you need all this for the aroma.
Oh! Oh, yeah, put that in.
Yeah. Yes, fantastic. Yeah, right.
Great.
Yeah, and now is the time for us to put our beef.
And I presume because you're cooking it for such a long time, that you don't have to fry your spices as long as if you were having them straight away.
No, because it's going to be simmering. So that's all thoroughly mixed now. So the last of it is our for aromatic turmeric leaves.
Oh, turmeric leaves. Obviously, I've seen turmeric. Does it smell of turmeric?
Yeah, it smells turmeric. The reason we use the leaf because the leaves have more aroma. All you have to do is just shred it into pieces. Yeah, get the flavor will be a lot better. And then we have another kind of leaf, which is
lime leaf.
Yeah,
we'll tear one each.
Yeah, you take.
Yeah. Smelling wonderful.
Then you put in for coconut milk, tamarind juice, and of course we need just a pinch of salt and also a pinch of black pepper.
The secret ingredient is pounded toasted coconut flesh called curry set. Oh. It's supposed to be quite dry, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be dry. Drier rendang the better.
I'm dying to try. Can I have a sneak preview?
Please, yeah. I'll do the same. Let me try to.
The meat is meltingly tender. It's incredible how all the spices have blended in sort of really in-depth flavour. And the meat is just melting. Oh, fantastic. I'm going to organise a party. So in the evening, we gather some of Shukri's friends beneath his stunning campon house for rendang, herbed rice, whole-baked fish, spicy pumpkin, but most of all, the warmth of the people that I've found everywhere here. I've absolutely loved my journey through Malaysia. It's a beautiful country, the people are incredibly warm and friendly, and the way they're able to embrace each other's cultural influences as well as look after their own heritage has been brilliantly illustrated in their food. And to me, I guess the one word that sums it up is harmony. This truly is a harmonious country.